At first I won the tournament because I'm Jordan Miles. Because I'm Jordan Miles. Because I'm Jordan Miles. Yes, I'm Jordan Miles. And it's the NXT Wrestle Ramble review. I am Luke Owen. This is housemate Simon Longdon. Please press the thumbs up button, give us a subscribe, leave a comment down below if you're watching this on the old catch up, and get your super chats into Chopper over there, who is going to be managing them.
Hey, what's up?
You all right, mate?
The chat already is wishing me happy birthday.
Oh, it is your birthday.
It's still not my birthday.
Yeah, it's a little bit
it was
late.
my birthday yesterday. Still not my birthday today.
Well, you know.
But thanks anyway.
When is your birthday? Monday.
Monday. Also,
it's today.
I do just want to say, real quick, on a more serious note,
Happy
I do want to say, on a more serious note, Simon, I do just want to say, get well soon to Tomo, because he said he's now got bronchitis, which sucks.
That does suck.
Get well soon, Tomo. Wishing the best for you, buddy.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah.
Back to you guys.
Best of luck to you, Tomo. Well, if you are watching, mate, I hope you will enjoy this rather quick review that we're going to do for NXT. I am going to hold these sorts of episodes up, this and last week's episode, as sort of examples when people go like, why don't you do an NXT review like you do Raw and SmackDown in 10 minutes? It was like, well, this is why, because there's borderline nothing to talk about.
Yeah, the actual show was only about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I got through this one very quickly. Yeah. Oh, video package. Skip 10. Forward 10, forward 10, forward 10, forward 10. Get to the point. But we're going to talk about the main event, which was the finals of the NXT Breakout Star, or whatever it was called, Breakout Tournament, where they had 8 new faces show up, and they all competed in this tournament, where the winner was going to get a title shot at the end of it, a title shot of their choosing. And it came down to Jordan Miles versus Cameron Grimes, which I think, in hindsight, I'm not sure if it was the best two to end on. Grimes, I think, I love Cameron Grimes. I think Trevor Lee's awesome.
Yeah. Really awesome.
But Jordan Miles, I don't, like, the ACH is a great wrestler, he really is. But this Jordan Miles character, I don't think is connecting with fans at all.
No, he's kind of become quite just Gennaro wrestler guy.
Yeah. He's been saddled with the Apollo Crews gimmick of just like, just go out there and smile, mate. Your smile's lovely. So go out there and smile.
And there is also a slightly uncomfortable element that happened, particularly with Apollo Crews, where all they talk about is the athleticism of some of the basically the black wrestlers. Yeah. And whereas without really giving them much character. And I think it's a shame because ACH was really cool.
Really, really cool. And like this, I mean, and he came out to no reaction whatsoever. I mean, granted, neither did Cameron Grimes, which
again is a shame.
Which I think is a shame, but it also kind of highlights that maybe this tournament didn't really work in the way that they wanted to do. It doesn't feel like Jordan Miles has come out of this as the breakout star of this tournament. I think that guys like Garza got over much better than Miles did, or than Cameron Grimes did.
Do you think there's something now because NXT is so established in its location now? Do you think there's something that like someone like Trevor Lee, who I would kind of much more associate with the West Coast indie scene? Do you think maybe there's just not like whereas we're watching as more of like a kind of that's that guy. This whole tournament was basically the renamed tournaments of renamed people. People you should. Whereas like I wonder whether there's now become over time maybe there's a bit of a.
It might be. I don't know. I just feel like
that's the whole reason.
I think the network's quite a worldwide thing. Like I don't really think it's much of a territory based thing anymore. I don't know. Maybe all I can tell you is that these guys just came out to no reaction. And you'd have thought as well that, bearing in mind how hot this crowd were for Fandango and versus the Forgotten Sons. In fact, like in giving the Forgotten Sons heat, which I thought they were, well-deserved heat. And this is taped before TakeOver. Maybe this was just that lull period. So you got your first match of the night where you're always going to be hot, and then you just go into this lull period, and then the pay-per-view starts, and then you're back hot again. Yeah. Maybe that's it, but something about this didn't connect.
I think because the shows aren't that long, I wonder whether this has just happened to be one of those recordings where one of the big players just wasn't there for this one. So maybe just the crowd.
Well, these were the only 2 matches they were going to do. So you know, maybe the crowd were just, I don't want to say they were restless because they were just looking forward to TakeOver starting, but it's I don't know. This, for some reason, this just didn't work.
Maybe it's just one of those things.
Maybe it is just one of those things. Like there was at one point a "This is awesome" chant, but it was so faint.
It was like
5 guys.
But it was also like basically the first near fall of the match, pretty much. It was like the first like proper false finish, and then they just start "This is awesome." It's like, well, that's not.
Yeah, there was a moment on the outside where Grimes hit this forearm, and it was a lovely forearm. It was like a big jumping forearm into the face of Miles, and there wasn't a reaction at all from the crowd. Like you could hear a pin drop. You could hear the sound of him hitting Miles really, really clearly.
It was interesting how the crowd was sort of almost out of sync with what the story they're trying to tell, because the striking in this was really strong and big, and that was clearly some of the bigger moments they were trying to build. But then it was only some of the false finishes the crowd were really reacting. It was almost like the crowd were like getting the narrative but not the content.
Yeah.
So it was really strange.
It was like towards the end, once Miles started doing some flip-de-doos, the crowd are going to pop for those. And the crowd did pop for the flip-de-doos.
He did his, I don't know what you call this sort of running Spanish fly thing.
Yeah.
But he's also sort of, he power slams himself. I don't know what it is, but it's really cool.
And there were some near falls towards the end, but Miles won with the Midnight 450. I thought the match was fine. Like I had big hopes for this breakout tournament, and I don't know if it fully delivered.
NXT has got a very, very recent and rich history of really nailing tournament structures, and they've almost done it sort of to show off. And they go, well, yeah, you know, basically the main roster's like, well, you can't get women over. Watch this.
Yeah.
You know, and then
you don't want to do a tournament. Watch us do one.
Yeah, exactly. And even with tag team wrestling, you know, they've done it so well. So I think this was. I don't know whether the main, with the extra belt becoming so prominent in the last sort of year or so, I guess. Like, I wonder whether it's just the kind of thing where actually they've just not really had enough time on screen or whatever to just really put over the characters.
Maybe that could be.
And also the match quality hasn't quite.
That's what I was going to get to.
All the tournaments have worked because the matches have just got like the only reason we talk about like Johnny Gargano and Ciampa is because they went into that tag team tournament, having never been on NXT TV before, and just had incredible matches, and they just nailed stuck together as a tag team.
Exactly.
Like,
and I was just bringing up my top matches of the year because you mentioned like the in-ring caliber of matches, and I think some of the matches have been really good. I think the Gaza stuff's been very fun.
Yeah.
But there hasn't been like any there hasn't been a match that I'll be like, oh my god, what an absolutely incredible match.
No one's done the whole thing of like, there's not been any messages go around being like, oh my god, you've got to see this match.
Whereas I felt like the Dusty Classic that they did this year, like first round through, had matches, but at the end of it, I was like, oh my god, that was absolutely amazing. And I think that's why I'm bringing up my top matches of the year, because I'm pretty sure it was Black and Ricochet versus the European Union of Fabian Aichner and Marcel Bartel. That was absolutely awesome. Like me and Laurie were like raving about that match. And I think when they did Black and Ricochet versus DIY, like it was just amazing bell-to-bell stuff. And I don't think this tournament has had that amazing bell-to-bell match.
No. Is it also in a sort of broader sense an issue that NXT is having right now? Because they are clearly in a transitional phase in a broad sense. And a lot of people they brought on are more experienced, slightly they're not old, but like they're older than perhaps some of the talent they were looking for 2 years ago. And so I wonder whether it's also just kind of like the talent pool is in a slightly different place in its cycle.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, that could possibly be. I'm not overly sure, but let's get to the question at hand though, because Jordan Miles won. So Jordan Miles is your winner of the tournament, so he gets a title shot of his own choosing. So my question to you is, what title do you think he should go for?
Well, we were talking about this earlier. I think these stipulations are very strange because you should just go for the main belt.
Yeah.
There is literally no motivation to not do that.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to go for North American.
The North American seems the one that makes the most sense. But for my money, I would like to see him go for the NXT Championship. Yeah. I'd like to see him challenge Adam Cole to a match, and they have an NXT TV match that is, you know, mind-blowingly great. Like I think those two could put on an excellent match. Yeah. And that gets Miles over so much more than this tournament would have done. In fact, actually, I think that would probably get him over more than him just winning the North American Championship would. Because he could get into that and you could do like the big near falls that he nearly he nearly won the NXT Championship. And I think that will actually really like massively benefit him.
I think I'd like to see him also having to talk with Adam Cole. You know, I think I want to see more of his character. I want to see him develop the character. The problem is ultimately everyone in this tournament, they're all very fresh new characters. You know, these are experienced wrestlers who've been a certain person, and obviously it's not like they've turned around and made him a clown.
No,
but like it is a new character, and he's still trying to get that character over. So is a not quite developed character the kind of character that should be launched into the main title picture?
Yeah,
I'm sure. Unless they do one of these things where he goes for it, a tangential thing happens, and he gets sidelined by that for a while, ultimately still with the prize of.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this is one of those sort of double
like a double hop.
Yeah.
I'd like to see if he was going to challenge Cole and they were going to do it as a TV match, which I think is the best option. For me personally, I think it's the best option. I would do it like you announce it's going to happen in 4 weeks' time. And then you spend those next 4 weeks building up Miles versus Cole as a mini feud to make this match feel big and important. Don't just say, I'm going to face Adam Cole and it's happening next week. I want to see some angles to kind of like build some intrigue into this match. Like Miles wiping out the other 3 members of the Undisputed Era. Not like, you know, to take them out of the match, but like, oh, you'll never beat Adam Cole. But mate, I just beat up all 3 of your mates. I am going to come for you. I am going to win this tournament. I'm going to win this championship, rather.
And the good thing about the setup of having the Undisputed Era is they've almost got like an inbuilt sort of way of putting someone over, because you can just run the gauntlet of the Undisputed Era over the course of a few weeks.
Yeah.
As if Adam Cole's like the big boss.
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
Just start that sort of thing, which I know other wrestlers have sort of done, but there's always been a lot more kind of like emotive stuff going there. I call out the idea of just doing a straight up, I just am better.
Yeah.
And it's like almost like a sort of pure, I'm just better than you, so we're going to have a fight.
Yeah, totally, yeah. And when they do that, or if they do that, I should say, rather than when. If they did do that sort of thing, I'd love to see it be that he doesn't just get shock roll-ups over the Undisputed Era. Like, he actually pins them clean and to just put him over that extra degree.
Yeah, I think so.
I think there's a lot of upside with Miles. I do like him. I don't think that his gimmick is really connecting, which is why I think putting him into a 4-week feud with the Undisputed Era might be a way to sort of elevate him and sort of bring some character out.
Yeah, I just think whoever was going to win this tournament, they were going to be at a slight disadvantage because ultimately they are a new character. So it's just always going to be, unless someone was literally a breakout where it just clicks straight away. But that's so rare, and to be honest, doesn't actually happen.
Quite. No.
These things do take time, so I think I'd like to see that kind of. I don't want to still be talking about this feud in necessarily 6 months.
No, absolutely not.
But you know, like I said,
as a way to establish him in NXT.
And also, so would you have Cole? You'd still have Cole go over?
Oh yeah, totally. I still have Cole. Yeah, I don't think you want to be putting Miles in the NXT Championship.
That's what I mean.
But I think you can put him over in defeat.
Yeah, and I think that would be the quickest way to get him over, and also make Cole look strong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, give him a good title defense, like a really strong title defense. Gets both guys over, and that'd be the way I'd do it.
I would also actually quite like from an Adam Cole defense for it to be more of a dastardly win as well. I think this is a good opportunity to do that, because at the minute there's been a lot of just I know particularly like Meltzer and Brian Alvarez said that they thought it was slightly overindulgent, that match, but actually a lot of Cole's defenses have been him on his own, and being very sure, like, I'm doing this on my own. There's not been a lot of. So actually, this is a good opportunity to actually use the Undisputed Era to actually now. They've done a lot of stuff. You know, they've been trying to do the clean sweep. Let's maybe have them do a bit of a come back together and a bit of teaming up and just a bit of dastardly heels. Just remind everyone that they are heels. Yeah,
to be honest, I've got to say, like, on the subject of the Undisputed Era, we'll come on to it a little bit when we do the main review, I suppose. But I felt like that whole clean sweep storyline that they've been telling, and it feels like they've been telling now all through, like, you know, throughout this year, has either got to happen or they've got to stop teasing it, because
I'm actually genuinely shocked it didn't happen. I just thought it was ready. It was just so.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, because it's just like if I'm Adam Cole in kayfabe, I'm chewing out these guys.
Oh, 100%.
Like you would be, because they failed and you succeeded.
Yeah.
So you should be chewing them out. There should be some sort of problem within the group. Yeah. I don't want to see problems within the group, but I feel like the booking with NXT this year has been so all over the show in some places. It feels like they've just been dropping storylines, starting them, dropping them, and
the whole thing, because it was like Cole and Roddy had a bit of a thing for like 2
weeks,
and then it just kind of went away again. That was I kind of thought that was all going towards the clearly there's going to be the sweep, but then maybe he turns and costs Adam the final or something. I don't know. It just felt like it was all going.
And you look at the storyline going into TakeOver Toronto it's Roddy versus Dream. Roddy is the one who's looking to be winning that title.
Yes.
And actually, he was an afterthought in the match, and it was all Dream and done. And
even,
now it's
even from the start, from the very start.
Right from the start. And now it's definitely Dunn versus Dream moving forward with no Roderick Strong in there whatsoever. So that storyline of them getting the clean sweep was just dropped because Roddy's now not going for the title anymore.
Yeah, it's very strange.
I don't know, but anyway, we'll come on to that in a little bit. But before we do so, let's go over to Chopper Pete Quinnell, who's got some super chats.
Indeed, I do. We are going to start off with Tim Arndt, who says, I know that this is the NXT review and all, but can we please just talk about The Fiend?
Do you know what? It's so funny.
You said this to me.
Simon said, I don't think there'll be a lot of super chats. And I was like, there will be. They'll just be asking about The Fiend.
Oh, okay.
Fair.
Yeah, you were correct.
And there you go. So, yeah, very, very first one. It's talking about The Fiend.
I don't have that £1 million I bet you on that, though, I'm afraid.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Bradley Fetzer says, hey guys, it's my first Susu super chat. I was wondering, what main roster superstar would you call down to NXT?
Oh.
Dolph.
Yeah.
I think Dolph would have like a really, because he could put on great matches. And so I think actually moving Dolph down to NXT might be like the real breath of fresh air that he needs.
Yeah.
And the other one I would like to say, only for like a very selfish reason, is Daniel Bryan. Because like Daniel Bryan going down there as like this huge megastar and then having the incredible matches that he would have with the likes of Cole and the rest of the Undisputed Era and Kushida and all these guys. I think it'd be amazing.
There's a perfect world in which actually the kind of guys who you want to go back down again, it needs to be a full cycle. So people need to kind of get a bit old and a bit over the hill and then come back around and put over people in NXT. But the problem is everyone who's that old is in the main event. Half the time.
Well, maybe Finn Balor's a good shout then.
I think Finn Balor would go shout. He needs a big reset. I've got strong feelings about the demon thing anyway.
You do.
But yeah, I think people who need a bit of a reset. But I think then the problem you've got is, the big thing coming up is obviously NXT going to be on TV, TV.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a big issue.
If it does go to FS1, which is most likely, but it's unconfirmed.
I just think if you start having even more than 2, like established main roster guys go down, I think then it totally changes the landscape of what NXT is there for. Yeah. And we're at a moment where we're talking about how this breakout tournament has struggled to get over characters. If they're going to start fighting for airtime with Finn Balor, AJ Styles, whoever else has been kind of rumored to be going to there, at least in some part, well then I think that's going to be a tricky situation to kind of book themselves around.
Yeah, I'd agree with that one. What else we got, Pete?
We got one from Bucky the Ace Ventura, who says, Angel Garza should have won.
Yeah, no, I could go with that.
Yeah.
I thought he was a great character. Really, really good. And that was a character that actually really... I mean, it connected in Full Sail, I suppose, so you could make the argument it might not have connected with the Toronto crowd. But I think he's that good, he probably would have done.
Yeah, and I think also he's the one who is the literal breakout in the sense that I think he's kind of secured himself a real spot there now. And I think we'll definitely see him very nearly in the future. And
totally, yeah.
Ryan B. Bad says, no one smiles like Jordan Miles, unless your name is Apollo, Balor, Ronda, Sammy, Bobby Roode.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Vince likes a smile. Maybe, and that's passed on to Triple H, apparently. He also likes a guy that smiles. But Andrade, the whole reason that Andrade doesn't wear his mask anymore is because Triple H said in an interview, like, have you seen how handsome he is? Why would you put that under a mask? His smile is amazing.
Well, Charlotte seems to think so.
Well, Charlotte certainly does seem to think so.
I mean, a strange reason not to.
My argument would be because masks sell merchandise. Like, you can sell a lot. Well, you can sell braces. Look, remember braces and little fedoras.
Or his PewDiePie fist thing on his knee.
Samad Ali says, hey, I got my A-level results and I managed to get into the uni I wanted to, so I just wanted to say thank you guys for helping me through the stress.
Well, you did better than I did.
I did better than I did as well. I got my A-level results. I ran into a friend of mine and told him what I got, and he was like, oh, so you didn't get into university? And then I was like, no, I did. He was like, oh, yeah, you went to Portsmouth. I was like, yeah, Portsmouth University. It's a jumped up polytechnic.
Oh yeah, mine was from Polytechnic. We had because I went to Staffordshire, which is linked to Keele, which is which even though is a bad university, is considered a red brick proper English university. And we had a very rude song about that we'd rather be a poly than a something. It was very funny.
Enjoy university.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congrats.
Ryan Kester said, there's little about Miles to really keep my attention. I've had my fill of smiling baby faces that finish with a 450.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. He needs a better finisher than the 450.
And also, here's the thing about the particularly NXT talent is being great in the ring, a workhorse, a bound machine, whatever you want to call yourself. That's not unique.
No, it's
They're
not.
all good, and you know,
Right.
and there are better wrestlers even than him.
pretty
So,
much.
that's such a tough gimmick to get over. Like, I just don't. Well, it's not a gimmick anymore.
Yeah.
You've got to be something more than that. And yeah, I think that is part of the reason why the sort of white meat baby faces like that are really struggling to get over because that's just everyone's having great matches.
Yeah,
all the time.
totally, yeah.
Roman and Buddy had a good match.
You want to put that little caveat there.
But yeah, they're happening all over the place. So that's just not enough. I don't think.
I don't think it's enough.
We got one from Adam Pearson who
Hey!
says, your predictions for the next TakeOver card.
Well,
Which is
War
War
Games.
Games.
It's gonna be War Games,
War
isn't it?
Games,
Yeah.
which is in November.
And do you know what? I don't want to see Undisputed Era in the cage. I'd rather it be someone different.
I mean, what they might. I think one good way of going about it would be, obviously, Forgotten Sons. But do it with the people below Undisputed Era. Let them play out whatever they're going to play out, and then create now quickly some other loose alliances. Also, I'm not also that, but I didn't like when Roddy did the AOP thing. Came dressed like I like them to be alliances rather than teams.
Yes.
I'm not that fussed by having actual we all dress the same. We're a stable kind of teams.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some more just loose alliances kind of go into it. So
Yeah,
like I said, I don't want to see the Undisputed Era do it.
I think we've had 2 years of Undisputed Era in War Games. I think it's time for a change. If I was fantasy booking this, because I quite like having a team in there, but a team of babyfaces going against them, put Imperium in there. Bring them over from NXT UK.
Yeah.
Have Walter and his cronies in there. I think that would be really, really great.
And it's also the kind of the whole premise of this thing is that it's just a big stunt show anyway. Not saying stunts as in spot fest, but as in the show is clearly a crazy gimmick anyway. So it's the perfect time where you can kind of go, we don't have to build this for months. We can just go, let's just bring up this really cool team who just tear through people for 2 weeks, and then we just have a bloody great big fight.
Another way to do it, if you wanted to add some different stakes to the match, is to do it with the Undisputed Era for the NXT Championship. So you've got 4 baby faces going for that belt, and it's the person who scores the pin on any member of the Undisputed Era is the one that wins. So you've then got, obviously the baby faces want to win, but there's also that infighting between them of who gets it. And I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's over-egging the pudding, but it is, it's certainly a possibility if you do want to have Undisputed Era in there.
Have they got enough top female talent to do a
women's one?
women's
Yeah,
one?
a women's one would be absolutely stunning. That'd be great.
I think they could quite quickly cobble together some alliances because they do kind of exist already.
Yeah.
You could obviously with Io Shirai, she can clearly put together her just killer heel team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would actually like to. I think that would just freshen up a little bit.
That would freshen up absolutely. And I suppose you got Baszler with Duke and Shafir.
Yeah,
as the horsewomen.
So there are things you can play off already.
Yeah,
you don't have to do it all from scratch. I think there's enough there.
Bring in Ronda Rousey.
Bring
in Ronda. So you got then the 4 horsewomen, but rather than do it with Becky, Charlotte, Banks, and Bayley, you do it with Candice and Mia Yim and Dakota Kai because she's going to be coming back soon, and insert name here. Yeah.
And finally, for now, before we get on with the rest of the show, we've got one from Tomo, who says, heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji. Love you all so much.
Mate, get better soon, but I honestly, best of luck soon. Anyway, right, let's get into the show itself. This shouldn't take long. There was a video recap of Toronto, which was soundtracked by Slipknot's awesome new song from their very, very good new album.
Yeah,
I'm
very good.
Been listening to a lot over this last week. I've been thoroughly enjoying.
I've only listened to it a couple of times, but I really like it.
Oh, it's very,
I
very good.
didn't like Unsainted when it first came out.
No, neither did I, funnily enough. It actually really grew on me.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit corny when I first heard it.
Yeah, I thought that as well. When I first heard it, I was like, this is every Slipknot track they've ever done.
Yeah.
But it's really grown on me as of late. And I think the actual album, the album is, for me, my money, it's the best thing they've done since Iowa. I think it's
wow.
Yeah, I think it's the best album they've done. And I actually really like the Grey Chapter.
I wasn't that into that. I sort of tapped out Subliminal Verses and then came back in Great Chapter wasn't that crazy though.
No, I really like Great Chapter, but I didn't think it was on the level of Iowa.
No.
Whereas I think that this is like on that level of Iowa, which is, for my money, the best album they've ever done. But anyway, for my only real note I had about this is that it is a testament to how little Beth Phoenix gives to commentary, because there were loads of quotes from Morrow. There were loads of quotes from Nigel. The only thing Beth said in this recap of a whole show was, "Oh." She did twice that happened. And that's all she contributed, apparently, to the whole evening.
Yeah. Weirdly, though, when I think she does speak, it's never bad. I don't think she's that. I think people get on her a bit. I don't think so. I think the issue is a 3-man booth.
Well, that is a problem, yeah.
That's always been the issue. It doesn't matter. Like, ultimately, you've got 2 A+ commentators, and all they've done is cycle out different people in the third spot. They're never going to get a word in edgewise, no matter how good they are.
No.
You know, if you stuck Corey Graves in there, he'd struggle to get a word in edgewise. Like, you need to have, I think, a 2-man booth, and that's it.
I think it's not Beth as well. I'm not putting this on Beth in the same way that we don't put this on Renee when she does bad commentary. It's the producing of this. It's like she's being told to say things, and it's just she gets told to say the robotic phrases, which is what a moment, what a move, which you can't really put into video packages because they provide there's nothing to them.
And unfortunately, she hasn't got the opportunity to earn the license to be free like Corey is.
No. Yeah, exactly. Then we got our only other match on the evening. It was Breezango, the reuniting Breezango, reuniting, and it feels so good, taking on the Forgotten Sons. And I was very disappointed in this. And I'm now starting to get onto the negative side of this Breezango return. I really liked Prince Pretty going back to NXT. I thought, what a lovely fresh start for Tyler Breeze. That's really cool. I'm very happy about that. And then he had his little run there, and now Fandango's come back as well. But when he made his return, he was super serious. There was no messing around. He wasn't doing dancing or anything. His wacky music played, but he was playing it deadly serious. And I was like, oh, wow. There's a new serious side of Fandango. They're not going to be doing wacky skits. They're not going to be doing this and that. And I enjoyed the Fashion Files. But I was like, I love this new serious edge to them. Then they cut a promo last week where they were just Breezango again. And it was doing comedy. And in that promo, he said, we need to have a makeover. We need to unveil the new Breezango. Yeah. And apparently the new Breezango is exactly the same as the old Breezango. Because
their stuff is now black.
Yes, there was... Apart from the fact, they were wearing black tights. There was nothing different about this team. They were doing the exact same shtick. And I thought, that's such a shame.
Such a shame. The one bright spot I did think of that was it's the only tag team music where their music is mixed together where it works. It's never happened before.
Nope.
I doubt it'll ever happen again. But for some reason... this one kind of works.
It actually works. Asuka and Kairi Sane's is an abomination. It's an actual abomination. You can't just start one and start the next. Like you can't
start crossfading or something.
Do something. It's like when Axe on the X Factor go, we're going to do a mashup. It's like, no, you've sung half of one song and then sung the second half of another song. That's not a mashup.
Do like and then just start the next song. I think. Well, I thought it was kind of dead in the water when even Tyler Breeze came back, and all he'd done is sort of shave his fur on his boots.
But I like that he just went right back to the model. He went back to Prince Pretty. He wasn't Cop. He wasn't Breezango Breeze. He was Prince Pretty Tyler Breeze.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll get that. But then to have Fandango come back and just be Fandango,
that's where I think it falls down. Yeah.
Unless I honestly thought the first thing he was going to do was come in and just turn on Tyler straight away.
Yeah.
First thing you do, straight away. All the goodwill. Because that would finally be a goodwill comeback with a turn that actually would work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really would. Because the crowd were massively hot for his return as well.
I just think that just felt like when they went for the hug, it was like, this is the Ciampa moment. Yeah. You're going to... Okay, cool.
But no, and they did a very standard match, did some hot tags.
This got This Is Awesome chant. No, it's got an NXT chant.
It got an NXT chant, yeah. And they did some comedy and stuff. Did a double team backbreaker and elbow drop for the win. Perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with it. It's just, I think it's a shame that they had an opportunity to do something different with Breezango, and all they've done is what had been done previously.
And weirdly, I actually kind of thought... Fandango actually looked almost uncomfortable doing the dancing in a way. Like he just looked...
I think that's just his face, mate.
Maybe, but he was just kind of throwing it in a lot. And I was just doing a lot more gyrating, even though I sort of really remember him doing the first time. I was just like, it just seems a bit we've really got there's one thing to come back and be the same, but this is like we've really turned back the clock.
Yeah,
quite
it really is.
significantly.
Yeah. This almost felt like like a throwback.
Yeah.
Being like, hey, you guys, do you remember this tag team from 10 years ago? And we're like, yeah, and they've done all their like trademark spots, but really they were a tag team last year.
Are we just looking at are they just gonna do the DIY story and just
maybe.
them?
And to be honest, I think it'd be great. I think that'd be maybe a way to do it, but
it's a shame.
It's a shame. We've got a recap of the triple threat match for the North American Championship, and this is where we got Pete Dunne doing an interview after the match with the Angel Kathy Kelly, where he said that he should be standing here as the champion. He should have the championship in his teats. He said, but I understand...
His teats?
His teats, yeah. In between his
like
teats.
Like a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Where'd you say between his 6
Exactly,
teats?
all of his teats. It's the Brummy way. He says that Dream did everything he could to retain, but he'll do whatever it takes to win it, and which really does establish that it's Dream versus Dunne moving forward, and Strong wasn't within a shadow of it.
Which, to be honest, the only thing I came away from that going was just, oh, that's weird.
Well, no, actually, no, I don't think it's weird. I think it's totally weird because they just dropped all the storyline going into the match.
It's not weird that he said that.
Yeah, because it made sense from the match,
yes.
But it was just really weird.
The whole thing is just weird.
Yeah. Got a hype video for the Breakout tournament, and Corey Taylor cut a promo hyping Slipknot's new album. And then there was a recap of the Street Profits versus the Undisputed Era. And then we got an interview from O'Reilly and Fish with Kathy Kelly saying they want to see Regal because they should have started the prophecy of them getting the clean sweep, but they didn't. But they were robbed of the titles because they pinned the wrong man. And I think it was Fish was supposed to be the wrong man, but they pinned O'Reilly because there was a moment where O'Reilly got whipped into the ropes. And they actually show this from like a different camera angle, as Nigel puts it. And it looks like it's sort of an accidental tag, but
Tags
then
him on the neck.
Yeah, but they're now using this as a way to, you tagged the wrong guy, so we deserve another shot.
I've never been a big fan of using the rules as the way to get. I don't know. I just think it's a bit cheap.
Yeah. We got a video of Io Shirai's heel turn with a video provided by Poppy featuring FIFA 333.
This is really cool.
Really cool, right?
Really cool.
Because it was interspersed with the music video
Yeah.
of whatever the song is called. But it was like, and it was all Io cutting a promo in Japanese with subtitles. And it just made her sound so much more menacing. The production of it was wicked. She looks amazing. The video package was just like really hyped her up. I was a massive fan of this.
It's been a long time. I can't think of someone else who wasn't immediately in like the main title picture. Obviously, she wasn't in it Takeover. Who just felt like a really
the main event.
Big deal.
Yeah,
really
you should be
big
the
deal.
main event. Yeah.
And I just think that was very cool.
It really was. Which it actually then really highlights how little there was in the Mia Yim Shayna Baszler match, which we got a recap of next. And then Baszler didn't really cut a promo at the end of it. But like Kathy was there going, man, Mia really pushed you to your limits. I'm like, did she though? I just always felt like Baszler was winning.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe
I really liked the match.
Yeah, no, I thought the match was good. I couldn't say I really liked it. I thought it was good.
I really enjoyed it. But I just love Baszler's work.
Oh, I think Baszler is she's incredible.
I think she is absolutely amazing. It never really, the feud never really sort of got me. I was looking forward to the match.
Yeah,
I very much enjoyed the match. I always enjoy Baszler's work. I'm enjoying how they're using, because she's not the best sort of character promo, but this is so real to her. She is a proper badass fighter,
totally.
and I like her doing these kind of just like grumpy kind of, she's just all about the winning and all the gold.
Yeah.
And I like
she didn't need her friends to win and this and the other. I think Baszler is amazing.
Like, what did she say? And still,
yeah. I think Baszler is an incredible character. I love her entourage. I love the presentation of her, and I always really enjoy her matches. I think the problem with Baszler is that she has yet to have that real defining feud.
Yes,
she hasn't had, like, when you look back at like the great women's champions of NXT. Or the great women's storylines of NXT. And you always go back to that Four Horsemen run, and it was Bayley, Banks, Becky, and Charlotte. That's because those four always had really, really good storylines and characters and feuds that you got invested in. Mm-hmm. Bayley versus Banks at Brooklyn 1 is one of the best women's matches WWE have ever done because there was such a good story and such a good feud going into it, and that helps the match get over even better.
And think about it. That match didn't even come after, which I actually think I actually prefer. The Becky
match, from the Takeover previews.
So it's like this like by the time they get to that, it's like this is actually coming off that they're actually recalling the historic ones. It was like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was there was so much built into that.
They went up, and I don't think Asuka, apart from Ember Moon, like Ember Moon was like her Asuka's best feud. I think after that she was just having like Monster of the Week matches.
Yeah.
Where she'd be like, oh, you're having a match with Mickie James, or you're going to face Nikki Cross and Ruby Riott, or or some sort of nonsense. And that's what I think that Baszler's missing.
Yes.
I think she's missed that real killer feud that people have massively got invested in.
Yeah.
Because I think that the feuds that she's had thus far have just been people expecting her to lose the belt and then go up to the main roster. That's not really people getting invested into her stories.
No, and I think to your point just before then as well. Like, I think when you look at so you have so let's say you go through Ruby Riott, Shayna Baszler, Asuka, Ember Moon. That is a short period of time where they've all at some point sort of at least cross paths in some way, or at least sort of, there's been some crossing between all of those in some like Venn diagram, like without ever really any of them hanging around long enough to really establish. By the time Asuka had her crazy run, but actually by the time anyone who's been around, they've never really done that great recycling of this is the next two. Yeah. This is the next two. I know they're trying to get everyone over and get loads of people in, but they've not done a great job of, like you said, recycling that next, established.
Well, that's why I'm hoping it's going to be Dakota Kai next, because you can build off a 2-year-long storyline of, you broke my arm and you took me out of it, you've been a bully to me all this time, but now I'm back and I'm better than ever, and I'm going to take that title off of you. Because I think that people can get invested in Dakota and believe that she could take the title off of her. Yeah, so for me, it's got to be Dakota Kai next, but that's just me. We got a huge recap of Cole versus Gargano, because this went on for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
This took up a large chunk of the episode.
Yeah, they're really telling us how great they think this match was.
Yeah, and for my money, it was the second best match I'm going to say it was the second best match of the three of the trilogy. I think the match they had at TakeOver 25 was head and shoulders the best match they had.
Yeah, I think this Gargano has done now. He's kind of in that. He's almost in that weird kind of TLC era thing where he's had to keep one-upping these crazy matches, which are fantastic. But the thing this was missing was it just didn't quite have that narrative bite to really string it all together. There wasn't any these matches have often had one of the spots or one of the weapons they use or whatever is a real this is a totem of this feud and something meaningful,
like the crutch or
or the knee brace or whatever. And so it just didn't quite have that last bit cherry on top thing, which that's how high the bar is. This match is amazing.
Yeah, that's it. It was a great match.
And we were actually a bit like,
well, I don't know, mate. It's all right, I guess. Yeah. And then very lastly, we got a recap of Matt Riddle and Killian Dane fighting at TakeOver Toronto, and they're going to have a match next week. And if I'm thinking kayfabe-wise, I'm like, why didn't Regal make it a cage match or something? Clearly, these two guys just keep beating each other up in the aisle. Yeah. And so, what makes you think this week is going to be any different?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the
I'm really looking forward to it, but it's going to be one of those things I'm nitpicking. And it's like, if you're William Regal in a kayfabe world, you'd want to put some sort of stipulation around it, a falls count anywhere or something, so it doesn't matter that they're going to just brawl. But I am very much looking forward to it. I hope we actually get the proper match, because I'd like to see Killian Dane have his proper NXT return.
Yeah, and I think they. Specifically, they can. I hope. You never know what chemistry is going to be like, but I think they could have an incredible match.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And then we got the Jordan Miles Cameron Grimes match for the main event. Overall, I would say that it was a solid. I don't know. The two matches were fine. It was okay. They were fine. Video packages were very good, but that's WWE's video editing department. They're excellent.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit of a shame that the Dusty Trophy is basically dragging around the Statue of Liberty, and then he just held up a clipboard.
Yeah,
I thought that was a bit of a shame to not it didn't feel.
You didn't.
He was like,
contract.
Yes, and he was just holding a
clipboard. like he was holding money in the bank.
Yeah, I was hoping that someone were going to sort of do a bit more of give it a bit more
oomph.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with you actually. In fact, I think just one of my notes in that match was this match needs some oomph.
Yeah. This needs more than a clipboard.
Yeah. But that is all from us. But Chopper Pequenel, what are people saying up in them super chats?
Well, let's start with Jesse Venable, who says, I know I'm a day late, but happy birthday, Chopper. This is going to be a running theme, by the way, so Thanks. Still not my birthday, though.
Happy birthday.
Ryan B. Bad says, "Chop of the morning, fellas. Happy birthday, Pete." King Rasta did in 2 super chats with the same message, very far apart. So I don't know if you just thought that I missed it. I didn't. So you've done 2 of the same chat, but thank you. He said, "On the topic of re-debuts, you guys left out a very important one." I assume you were talking about re-debuts.
Because we said the Fiend's re-debut was probably the best in like wrestling history.
King Rasta has a different opinion and said, "Mark Henry is sexual chocolate." Obviously. Happy belated birthday, Chopper. Thanks.
I mean, in all fairness, the sexual chocolate gimmick got him more over than the Nation did. So yeah, maybe you're right.
That is true. Austin Baker says, "Happy birthday, Chopper." Thanks. Still not my birthday. Y2 Flame says, "Lovely time with the boys."
Hashtag lovely time with the boys.
Hashtag that. Ryan B. Bad says, "Not NXT news, but WWE 2K20 Twitter just posted that The Fiend will be part of their pre-orders on WWE Originals."
Oh, man, I nearly swore then. Get out, mate. Get out with this pre-order nonsense. Just put him in the game. I'm already buying it. Don't make me... Oh, I hate this so much. It's such a cheap, manipulative tactic. Just put him in the goddamn game already.
John Pietro Randy Dats's number 2 fan says, "Happy birthday, Pete. Thanks. Love and miss you guys. Ollie has business. While I've had baby.
Wow.
So been sleeping during live streams. Well, congratulations on the baby.
Congratulations on the baby, mate. Congratulations on repopulating this planet.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, no, I feel like we've already come to an end. Have you seen YouTube comments? This world is dead.
We've got to start again.
Yeah, we've got to start again, mate.
Small Afro Games, aka Jaron Walker, says, "Finally able to super chat. Flying home today. Loved being the man on the ground. Planning on going to Boston for SummerSlam next year."
Nice. Yeah, no, it's been lovely having Jaron as our man on the ground in Toronto. Thank you very much for all of your work. Sorry I didn't see your tweets. I don't check Twitter while I was live streaming. But he was sending us lots of really good photos, particularly like in how empty SmackDown was. And
oh, really?
Yeah, and it was one of those times where like people are cutting promos in the ring, but they're talking to no one because there's no one there.
Yeah, they've shut them. They're even stopping the Raw loops, aren't they? They've cancelled a bunch of shows now, haven't they?
Yeah, I think some of that's also to do with like so they've cancelled a lot of house shows and they've cancelled loads in the European tour because of the Saudi show, and that's just things getting in the way. And next year, I suppose as well, it will just go back to being 3 days. It'll be a 3-day event rather than a 4-day because SmackDown will be on Fridays. Yeah, unless you did like SmackDown as the start of it. So SmackDown's the start of the 4-night loop. So you do SmackDown on the Friday, NXT Saturday, SummerSlam on the Sunday, and then Raw on the Monday. I suppose you still could do that. Yeah.
Tyler Bailey says, "Happy not birthday, Chopper." Finally someone gets it. Thank you. Marcus Hoff says, "How would you guys feel about a joint NXT and NXT UK takeover for Survivor Series weekend? Champions versus champions, Cole versus Walter, GYV versus Profits, etc."
I'm less into the versus like champion. I don't want it because Raw versus SmackDown means nothing, and I don't think NXT versus NXT UK would mean much either.
I think it would make more sense, and I think I would be more on board with it. I think because they are literally in another continent. You can see why they would be a rivalry, even in a sporting sense. They are literally on a different team. Yeah. But yeah, I would rather it be saying that when Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate had their UK championship, that was just on a takeover. Yeah, Pete Dunne and Walter this year. Yeah, I think just having having UK matches on the takeovers is just a big advert for them. No need to make it a big deal. I don't know why you wouldn't just do it with the tag titles. Just bring Grizzled Young Veterans across and have them have a match with like an NXT tag team, or like with the the Yard Bastards, Martin Stone, then Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. Yeah. Just something like that. I think would be a really good showcase for the NXT UK lot. Or bring across Toni Storm and have her have a women's match. Oh yeah. Because Tony's great. It's Tony's time.
As a follow-up, Marcus Hoff has literally just put in another super chat saying, "To counter my last super chat, I forgot it was War Games. Maybe make the NXT and NXT UK thing a special." Yeah. I mean, unless, of course, you did want that to be the War Games match. It is NXT versus NXT UK inside of War Games. I think really War Games is the only one of those sorts of events where you can really make it just like, this is a one-off spectacle. It's going to be mad. It's great. But it doesn't mean anything in a broader narrative sense. Unless you wanted it to be... if I was to fancy book this is what I'm thinking. If you wanted to really do NXT versus NXT UK, Imperium invade NXT
the US version, and you then build towards Undisputed Era versus Imperium inside of War Games, where you've got the champions on either side, you've got the NXT champion and the United Kingdom champion on either side, and you really build up, because that's going to be one of those things where the crowd are going to be like, man, this is awesome before it's even begun, because it's like the big dominant, well, I say the big dominant team, but like the big team that everyone loves in NXT versus the big team that everyone loves in NXT UK. But if you make that as a Imperium are doing it for a reason, as opposed to we just want to. War Games is coming up, so I guess we'll come over.
Yeah,
because the problem with Raw versus SmackDown is that there was never any reason to do it other than it's Survivor Series. I guess we have to. And so, and I don't want that to be War Games. I don't want War Games to just be I guess we've got to do it.
Yeah, and also I guess what I don't want to see is people who wear trunks having to wear T-shirts with their brand tucked into them.
Oh God, yeah. Unless you're Seth Rollins, where you get to wear both, you look absolute
the
tool,
half
don't
T-shirt,
you?
like a couple at a football match where
Yeah.
they both sport opposite teams.
Yeah,
Hate that.
tools. Any more?
Oh, yes. One from Tomo, again, who said, I had no idea that it was Pete's birthday today. Merry Easter, Pete. Thanks, Tomo. Not KM said, oh, here we go, Luke. This one's for you. Pre-order's only $5. Not the end of the world.
Oh God, yeah, no, but it's the culture of doing so.
Well, the game is $49.99, I believe, or $59.99 in the UK. To make it the gold edition, I think we'll put that up to maybe $79.99. So that will be the pre-order. So it's like the pre-order might only be a $5, but it's only a $5 within other. It's.
I don't like the games industry for manipulating people to spend more money than is actually needed. Do you know what a game doesn't need? 6 different Ultimate Editions to all pre-ordered nonsense and microtransactions and loot boxes and all this sort of garbage. All I need is a game. I don't want you benching off or sidetracking other bits or putting bits over here behind another paywall for a game that I'm already buying.
But also, particularly to The Fiend, why are they making this distinction? 2K have had an issue with this for a few years now, where they are too far behind the times. Like, by the time it came out, I think by the time 2K19 or 18 came out, DIY was already done, but Gargano still is DIY stuff on, stuff like that. They're always behind the times. But so which Bray Wyatt is in there if you don't get that? Yeah. Because I'll tell you who doesn't exist anymore. Bray Wyatt, as he was previously constituted. This is who he is now. Yeah. So to basically pick and choose, well, just because it's a bit new, you're now going to have to pay for someone who is currently a regular roster member. So it's so do I also have to pay for Seth Rollins?
Yeah. Well, that's it. And
I don't understand what Bray Wyatt is in there then. And if that case, that's the wrong one. He's not there anymore.
And to put a final pin on this, from me at the very least, is. He is only a pre-order bonus to extort more money out of you. That is the only reason he is a pre-order bonus. And the only reason why they have pre-order bonuses is to extort more money out of players. It is not done for creative reasons. They've looked at it and be like, I mean, we could get $60 for this game, or we could get $65 and you get an extra character for it, which to me is cheeky.
They made the game not knowing the correct decisions that WWE were making. They did not have. They had a previously constituted Bray Wyatt, so they then had to update that. And instead of just updating Bray Wyatt, they went, "We'll sell that separately."
We'll sell it separately, exactly.
Which is really disgusting.
It's cheeky as, but that's the AAA game industry, I suppose, for you. No, push my glasses up my nose.
Can't say anything anymore.
Can't say anything these days.
Brock Batty says, Chop in the morning from Dunder. Tell the bartender from that 2K20 trailer that I'll be pre-ordering for The Fiend.
I actually am pre-order bonus. And
it's about time.
Yeah, that'd be my gimmick.
Jacoby Thompson says, it may not be Pete's birthday, but it is mine. Well, happy birthday.
I don't believe you.
Yeah. Don't believe anyone's birthdays anymore.
Pete's forever lying about his birthday. I don't believe anyone anymore. Happy birthday.
Dylan Grigsby says, my first super chat. How would you guys feel if Undisputed Era get their rematch at NXT taping with Street Profits getting their send-off from Full Sail, with Cole later cutting a promo saying the prophecy is complete, Undisputed Era turn on Roddy, and we get Roddy versus Cole?
Yeah, good work. Yeah, that would work.
Like it. John Marth finally says, can the Fiend outrun the Flash? Probably not, because he's not very quick.
What a great question, because it's the age-old question of like, can Superman outrun the Flash? But yeah, we just apparently
It depends if the lights are on or off.
Well, yeah, maybe.
If the lights are off, the Fiend can
He's
move
quick, isn't he?
really quick.
Oh yeah, super quick. Yeah. So there you go. That's that caveat. So Pete, you put your hand up.
Finally, just another thank you to Jaron Walker, who donated but with no message for a different super chat.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, that is all we've got time for on this edition of the Wrestle Ramble. Please click the videos that have just appeared on the desk if you are watching.
Patreon shoutouts.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we've got to do Patreon shoutouts. Yep, I knew that. I was testing Pete.
Yeah, testing me.
Yep, and you passed.
Thank you.
We've got to do some Patreon shoutouts.
And we weren't told to do them by anyone.
In the podcast, this will be seamless. And head on over to patreon.com/WrestleTalk. And at the $25 and above level, you will get your name read out on this show by these three very handsome men. Just like these people will. Brett the Hitman Matthew Williams. And you get your own round of applause, you cheap pop.
Killer Chris Phillips.
Yes, very nice.
Infinite Crisis, Chris Jenkins.
Yeah, lovely. Switchblade, Courtney Summers.
Woo, yeah.
Dive Dylan Kashita.
Dive.
Oh, sorry.
Dive, you know the meme.
It's a Randy Orton thing.
Oh, that thing. Sorry.
They drew first blood, not me. Grace Rambo.
You sold out, Jake Sellers. Yeah, nice.
Very sold out.
Me?
Yep.
Jonathan, the Headmaster Headman.
He's getting it.
Hell yeah, he's getting there eventually. John Santos, Little Helper. I like
Yes,
it.
I
like it.
Probably better than Kyle. Philip O'Reilly.
Nice.
It's a tall order.
Cool like a summer's breeze, Chris Summerfield.
Hey.
And finally, Nate, dropped surname.
Thank you, Nate. Thank you,
Thank you very
everyone.
much.
And that is all we've got time for on this edition of the Wrestle Ramble. Please click the videos that have just appeared on the desk if you are watching this on Catch Up to see all the latest WrestleTalk awesome things. Simon and I are going to be on Screen Stalker today, so make sure you check that out when that goes live in a couple of hours, or about an hour or so at this point. Thank you all for watching. I've been Luke Owen. This has been housemate Simon Longden. That over there was Chopper Pete Quinnell, and that we're rambling.